just selected two. And the first one is Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1. I don't know if the media will help us, or I just go ahead and read, but if you have downloaded a Bible app, you can look at Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1. And I was telling my class this morning that there is a Gen Z Bible. I don't know if you've come across it. Gen Z, it's called Generation Z Bible. You can also read from it if you have it. It brings the message home. It says, and I'll read from the Amplified, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days." The Amplified says, "Cast your bread on the surface of the waters." And then the Amplified translates and says, "This means be diligent, be active, make thoughtful decisions." So casting your bread on the surface of the waters simply means be diligent, be active, and make thoughtful decisions. And then in verse 6 it says, of the same Ecclesiastes chapter 11, "Sow your seed in the morning, and do not or evening planting will succeed." And then the second scripture that we had a privilege of reading in the morning with my business students is Ecclesiastes, same book, but chapter 9, verse 11, that says, "The race is not to the swift. The battle is not to the strong. Bread is not to the wise. Riches are not to the men of understanding." And then it says that it's not always the educated. It's not always the educated. I think I missed a line there. It's not the educated that, where's George? We said, it's not the educated who do what? Let me read it then. Are you there? Anybody can assist me? Ecclesiastes is right here. Yes. It says, I'll read the whole thing again. "I have observed something else under the sun. The fastest runner doesn't always win the race, and the strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. The wise sometimes go hungry. The skillful are not necessarily wealthy. And those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. It is all decided by chance and by being in the right place at the right time." If you want, you can read that scripture later on, NLT. And so in just about a minute, the scriptures are telling us, and like I said, God had already seen that all this would be happening to us, that you do not have to wait until you're fully educated, because it's not always the educated that lead successful lives. You don't have to wait until you're very strong in every sense of the word, because it's not always the strong that succeed. God has given us two things. One is to be at the right place at the right time. And your right place and the right time is here today, so that you can learn about being successful and what to do to be successful, and what to do so that 4 years down the line, as you get into the job market, you are really not running helter-skelter. Somehow you have done what Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1 says, "Cast your bread on the surface of the waters," or "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days." I'm sure we have come to just listen on how we can cast our bread upon the waters. What is your bread? Money you'd have spent on chips, on soda, on, some raving activity, on a weekend when you want to drive out with your friends. But the decision is make thoughtful decisions that somebody said when others are slaughtering chicken, that 1,000 shillings, you're going to keep it somewhere because you want it to bear some interest that you can enjoy many days. Bible says after many days. So I pray that your mind is going to be open and receptive, and that you're going to really love this moment, that somebody can tell you how to arrive out there in style. Some of the millionaires we know, and I'm not talking about what you know that is happening in this country, but it's basically about a few men and women who decided to make the right decision at the right time, and they're enjoying their clean money. I want to learn so much myself. In the morning, a student told us that Ecclesiastes 9:11 simply means that between the age of 1 and 25 is when you make very important decisions in your life. That is the time that God has given you to make important decisions that can help you later on in life. Because after 25 years, age of 40, you may not have that chance that you missed out between age 1 and 25. Of course, after 40 is a time to start saying, it passed me. And you can only look at your friends who made wise decisions and they're enjoying themselves. So it's a privilege. I don't think I got this opportunity between my age 1 and 25. So if you're here, you're really privileged. And so if I count all of you, my prayer is that 5 years to come and 10 years to come, you'll be the men and women driving your Rolls Royce, driving your Pajeros and your VXs and your Range Rovers and your Land Rovers, and you do whatever land will allow you to do, because you'll have become financially strong. God bless you and all the best. Thank you. All right, I think we'll pray. Let's bow down our heads and pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you, precious Lord, because of this time. Indeed, you've given us a chance to be in this place, and that you have ordered our steps to be at the right place at the right time, because what you have in store for us and what you want us to learn is really for our good, and not just for our good, but you're preparing us for tomorrow. You are preparing us for days to come, that whatever bread we shall cast upon the waters, whatever investments we shall make for us and for ourselves, because we have denied ourselves of this bread so that we can find it many days to come, I pray that we shall surely enjoy ourselves years to come. And so we give you glory and praise, and I pray that you bless us together as we sit and listen to wise counsel from the men and women that you have sent our way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Madam Dorcas Mwamba. I now want to invite Britam to take up the stage. But as they come to stage, I want us to have some housekeeping. For those who are new in Nairobi campus, especially the Athi River students, we have some place you can take selfies. Just in every floor of the building, this right side, we have some restroom. So in case you are new, make sure you can utilize those spaces. We shall also be serving tea at around 3:30. I know most of you are asking, where is the tea that we were promised? So that tea is coming at around 3:30. We have tea and refreshment. Welcome, Britam.
Good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Okay. Mrs. Momba, I just have to tell you that was awesome. It goes in line with some of what I was coming to say. I work for Britam. I am actually a finance person with a background in business administration and accounting. I've done a bit of my CPA, but kuna mahali nilianguka, kasema niachie my children. So for the CPA is on hold, but next time I come here, I'll have finished it. So I always love to ask myself, how does the work I do integrate with my faith? Yeah? And before she even spoke, I feel like she has read exactly in line with what I wanted to say. So I'm going to talk about Psalms chapter 90, verse 10 to 12. And very quickly, I'll read it. 70 years are given to us. And this is a New Living Translation. 70 years are given to us. Some even live to 80. But even the best years are filled with pain and trouble. Soon they disappear and we fly away. Who can comprehend the anger of the Lord? The wrath of the Lord is as awesome as the fear he deserves. Then, this is to you guys, teach us to realize the brevity of life so that we may grow in wisdom. So this is what I wanted to say. How short is life, isn't it? I'm finding that life is very, very short. Some of you who are privileged to have your parents still with us, and I am, my dad is clocking 85, and he has a lot of wisdom. And he's always telling me, you know what, Sally, it's true, life is short. Make the most of your time and the most of your opportunities. And do you see it's in line with what you are trying to say? She said so many things, so I kept writing. And I said, I can't write everything she said. I forgot my shorthand. So I want to tell you guys that you are very privileged to be in this season of your life. Make the most of each opportunity. Make the most of each day. And for sure, time is very short. I graduated from this university some years ago, in the year 2000, okay? And I thought that, I'm so young. I'm so young. And but looking back, I was like, wow, I was once you guys. I was once seated on that side, and I was once under the very false, impression that I have a lot of time. You guys, time flies, so do the best you can. So, I have also had opportunities to invest from a very early age. So I used to work somewhere in a microfinance institution, and we had a sign on our door, hawkers not allowed. Hawkers not allowed. So we would chase insurance agents away. So when I discovered how insurance can help me, I completely changed my mind. Yeah, and so I help guys set up insurance policies for themselves, for their children, for even their companies. Even anybody needs insurance, okay? So, what does Britam do? I've already said it, yeah, in a nutshell. Britam is a financial services firm, okay? And we have investments, we have insurance, we are in property, and we have financial services. I won't go into all that, because it's normally a discussion, a presentation that I do for a full hour. So you can see my struggle. I'm trying to consolidate everything that I talk about in 1 hour into about 15 minutes. But we'll do our best. So we started in 1965, okay, as a branch of Britam in Bahamas, okay? And then Kenyan shareholding began in Kenya. Local Kenyans started buying into Britam in 1984, okay? And we have some people like the World Bank through the IFC, International Finance Corporation, who've bought shares. We have Swiss Re. Let me not bore you with that. You can check our website and you'll see all that. You can see who is our leaders. You can see who our board the board of our chairman is. And we are in 7 countries around Africa, okay? We are in 7 countries. So basically, Britam has a wide array of products. Okay, so today I want to just narrow down to what I think is relevant to students. Okay, what I wish somebody had told me was that when I was in Daystar. I wish somebody had come and just told me about a money market, something as simple as a money market. You only need 1,000 to join. How many guys can afford 1,000 bob here? Even if you're going to afford it once in 3 months. See, sometimes you don't have enough poko. I understand that life. I was here, I said, in this university. And I have a twin brother. So you can imagine. Mulikuwa mnapewa pocket money na munaambiwa muitumie vizuri. So I won't even talk about the fights that we did. So students, consider very heavily, very seriously taking up a money market account. And then there are different kinds of money market funds that I will not go into. And then another very good product that would be good, haitakupatia stress, hautapigiwa na kampuni uambiwe umelapse, is an investment plan called Imarika. Okay? You just put in some 1,000 as a minimum every month, or even ad hoc. Ad hoc payments mean, ukiweka mwezi huu, next month si lazima uweke. Sawa sawa? Yeah. And there's no pressure. Imarika haina pressure. So in my view, students need to have an Imarika investment plan. For those who have got a bit more steady income, because let's not fool ourselves. See, ni Gen Z. Yeah, I have Gen Z brothers, and some of them are in school. And my friend, those guys hustle. They have side hustles, I don't know, online what. They have money. So for those who feel they may be able to have a stable income currently, there are things like an Akiba investment plan. So I will not go into that, because that will take me like 10 minutes to do justice to that product. I will be seated there. You can just pass by and talk to me, okay? So another very, very important thing, as I was interacting with students, I realized some of you in a few months will be doing internship. You'll be doing internship. I have gone to some government institutions that have told us, Britam, come, give the people coming for internship a personal student cover. You understand what that is? And don't be scared. It's so cheap. So Britam came up with a product. We understand some of you are buying this personal accident cover from the pocket money your folks have given you, isn't it? Imagine for 3 months, if you're doing an internship for 3 months, the cover I have, or that we crafted at Britam, is 188 shillings. Is that fair? Is that affordable? Yeah. So for some of you who will go into internship organizations or companies that we tell you, you must bring your personal accident certificate, talk to me. I will give it to you. And you don't even have to do paperwork. We will sign you, I will sign you up digitally from the comfort of your home, or class during break time. As I can also do it from the comfort of my office or home for you. Okay. Yeah. So I could have said a lot. I really could have said a lot, but let me leave it there. Mr. Katua, I'm going to request a session, at least 1 hour. Nionge tu vizuri? So I appreciate this time, and I wish you guys all the best. And remember, make the most of the time you have. But most importantly, the financial resources you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Salome. Can we clap for her? I thought you would give them your number so that in case they have any questions, they can call. In case they are going for attachment and they need a cover.
Oh, sure. And by there, I'm not far. I have an office in Hurlingham. You know Timao Plaza? Yeah, Timao Plaza, opposite Air Center. But I also can be found at the head office, Britam. You know where the Britam, not the very long one, you're tuliachia wakubwa. There's a new Britam, the long one, towers, wachana na hiyo, the other, it's called Britam Center. So here's my number, 0735 128 783, Salome. 0735 128 783. And I come a lot here. You'll see me around a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to mention that she's one of our alumni in the School of Business and Economics. So years to come, we shall also support you or invite you to give, to share with the students what you are doing out there. As we welcome the Institute of Internal Auditors, the CEO, I want also to tell you that with Britam, they also have an app whereby you can buy bonds and you can invest in money market. So please get in touch with her. She will also be at the registration desk. If you want to be guided with as little as 1,000 to invest in the money market with Britam, then you can do so today. Thank you. Welcome. Institute of Internal Auditors.
Thank you, CPA Katwa. Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. And also the faculty, thank you, Madam Dorcas, for the prayer. And also thank you, Sally. You can do CIA if CPA was very harsh on you. You can see me up on my tent. So students, my name is Dr. Joyce Omina. I'm the CEO at the Institute of Internal Auditors. And we are glad to be here. I've come with 3 of my colleagues, Charity, who is in charge of membership. Charity is there. And then Cynthia. Cynthia, you can just wave. And Josephine, who will assist me in the session. Because we've been given a very limited time, I'll move very fast. Maybe because I can see some of you are dull, you are hungry. I've heard the resounding yeses, okay. But you've been promised tea, isn't it? Yes, so we can be active in this session. I won't take a lot of your time. So maybe we can start with some brain teasers. The first hand up, I won't allow students to Google. So the first hand up, you will win a prize. We've come with some little goodies. So the first question is, who is the CS for land? First hand up, please. I can't see any hand. Land. Okay, I think Josephine had already spotted someone.
Alice Waume.
Okay, you get a gift. Yeah, you need to be chap. Then the second teaser question. KCB Bank, what is the tagline? This is the first hand up, I think. The camera is blocking. It is this one? Maybe it has blocked.
I believe it is a Kenyan commercial bank.
No, tagline, not the meaning, yes.
For people, for better.
No, she has even said no, it's not the one. You know taglines change. Like Safaricom tagline have changed. It's her.
Being
Cynthia?
closer to the people. Being closer to the people.
No.
The tagline is go ahead.
Means there are very many taglines. That's
Careful.
still, yes?
We care for you.
There is another hand. KCB has how many taglines, or they've really changed with time?
For people, for better.
Hiyo imeenda. There are many hands up, but I know now Google has come to help, or is it ChatGPT? So we let it go. Josephine, I can see. Okay. Okay, you can do the last try.
Being closer to the people.
Now, the last question for now, we'll still have some goodies for those who will join very fast. Is it 2 days ago? the Council of Governors chairperson was changed. Who is the new chairman of... there's already a hand up. Wow.
The governor for Wajir.
Good. FCPA Ahmed Abdullahi. Okay. So, okay, that was just a teaser. So, as the presentation comes up, who knows what is internal audit? Now that's a chance for the ones who had answered for KCB. Anything on internal audit? Please, okay.
Internal audit or internal auditors are those agents who check all the financial reports and statements from the company within.
Okay, you have tried, but that is external auditors. There's a difference between external auditors and internal auditors. Those who check financial you can still give him his raised up. Cynthia, just the same. You can still give. But you wanted to modify your answer. I can't hear you. You can still try again and then we move to the presentation.
Yeah, internal auditors are those who actually prepare the financial statements and check them in order for the external auditors to find no fault in it.
You can see. Okay. Sasa umeharibu. And now those ones are accountants. Yes, but you've still gotten a gift for trying. Internal auditors check the processes and controls in an organization. So they don't prepare or check financial statements. They just check controls and processes and the ways to improve the procedures in an organization, okay? Is that clear? Yes. So they check at Daystar University, you have an internal auditor. So the internal auditor checks the different processes, maybe the student processes at the university and so forth. So let me just move to the presentation. It's still pending. It's homework for the students. I think the KCB has changed taglines a number of times, just like Safaricom, so they are still referring to the old ones. So, yes, who is an internal auditor? We've just defined. First of all, before we start, just to make this very quick, you can take a photo of your national ID and your student ID. Do we all have our student IDs? We all have the student IDs. So please take a photo of your national ID and your student ID because that will help you register for membership much faster. So please go ahead and do that as we continue. Okay, so the Institute of Internal Auditors is a global organization headquartered in the US, in Florida, and we are in different countries. So this is the IIA Kenya affiliate based here in Nairobi, and then we have IIAs in different countries. And so we offer technical guidance. We are a professional membership organization. We do not carry out internal audits, but we support internal auditors across the country, be it in the private sector, in the public sector, in the NGO world. So we support our internal auditors across and even in the counties. And there are more than 235,000 members globally. In Kenya, around 4,500 members. So what is who is an internal auditor? are the people in an organization who review and make recommendations. We check controls and see how we can improve the operations. Maybe just an example of here at campus. Can someone get into Daystar without having a student ID at the gate? Yeah, it's a yes or no? Yes. Yes, so what controls are there? Cynthia, you'll assist me with. What do they check? Those are the controls. What do the security check at the gate for you to come in if you are not a student? Yeah.
National ID.
They check?
The national ID.
National ID. So if I am a thief and I come with my national ID, I'll just come into the gate because we all have national IDs in Kenya, isn't it? So there is no other control that is done at the gate. You can just, I don't know if your voice is... yeah, just speak.
If for new students, they check if you have a letter of admission, or they check if you are on the student portal.
Okay, I'm talking about non-students. Like myself, I've come into Daystar. So what controls are there at the gate to check someone like me, who is not a student, comes in?
They just ask where you're going.
Okay, so I'm just trying to show you what internal audit job is. We check those controls, okay? We check those controls. As students, when you are sitting the exam, can you sit for your exams when you have a fee balance? Yes or no? Huh? But you can. You can sit with a balance. I tell you how. What if the finance person is my uncle and then he goes and tampers with my finance records and I still have 50,000 remaining and he writes 0? Will I not sit for the exam? Hmm? Yes, I will. So those are the things, those are the controls in place to make sure that everything is working smoothly. That's why we have internal auditors in different organizations, just to check that everything is according to the correct procedures, okay? And do you have missing marks when you are doing your exams? Do you get missing marks? Yes, a resounding yes. I know the faculty has had. So what do you sign when you are doing your exams? Do you sign a page, a form that you've sat the exams? Then when there are missing marks, you refer to that form. Yeah? Do you have the form, or the form goes with the lecturer? Sorry? Sorry? It goes with the lecturer. So when I have a missing mark and I signed a form which I don't have, how do I prove? Exam card. But exam card is for the full exams, isn't it? Maybe I have 8 units. Then I have only 1 missing unit out of the 8. The exam card is for the full exam, isn't it? So I'm just jogging your brain to see what an internal auditor would check in a university setup. There are many other things that the internal auditor checks. So today, internal auditing is in very high demand. Do you all know the Auditor General? The Auditor General? Yes, you can just shout. I don't know where the mics are gonna. Yes? Yes, yes. Nancy Gadungu, but Nancy Gadungu is an external auditor who performs audits of public organizations. Cynthia, you can give him a gift. So there is a lot of work that the auditor does in terms of checking the risk. What is the risk of students sitting for exams before they finish their fee balance? What is the risk of a student graduating before clearing from the school? There are many things that you clear, isn't it? Like the library, you go and you clear. Finance, you go and you clear. If it's a graduation gown, you return it. So what is the possibility of a student going and not clearing, and they've graduated, they've been given their completion letter and certificate? So those are some of the things that internal auditors check across the organization. I'm just giving you examples of a university setup. We have internal auditors across different organizations. So in Kenya, there are organizations that are mandated by law to have the internal audit function, especially in the public sector. There is an act called the Public Finance Management Act that requires internal audit to be in all public institutions. So we do have internal audit departments in all public institutions. That includes parastatals, counties, commissions. You know some of the commissions. Any commission that we know? Any commissions that we know? Yes, you can just shout. Yes, good. ESCC is one commission. Any other? Sorry? Just say it loudly. SRC is another one. So yes, good. So all those commissions and also private organizations would have, private organizations also have internal audit departments, including even the big four firms. So we have internal audit as a mandatory function in public organizations. And then for private organizations like banks, they are mandated by CBK to have an internal audit function. We have insurance companies who are mandated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority to have internal audit functions. We have SACCOs who are regulated by SASRA. They have internal audit functions. So you can see there are a lot of careers in internal audit. There are so many because we have internal audit functions in many of the organizations. Maybe the ones that are not regulated, manufacturing companies, some would have, some would not have. But financial institutions, public organizations would all have internal audit functions. So the other thing is when you are, because we are here to introduce the student membership, maybe how many of us are in doing business courses? Business courses. Okay. Most of us, I think that's 80% are doing business courses. Business is specifically BCom. It's BCom. Okay. The BSc Commerce, okay. Okay, and economics, okay. So then you are best placed to join the student membership. The student membership offers, it is free for now. This is an initiative that was started at IIA Global to ensure that students at the formative stage know about internal audit careers, because you can see maybe in your specializations, there is nothing about internal audit. So internal audit is not taught in school. Once you start your career, then you get to know about internal audit from the entry level. So this is an initiative that was started by IIA Global to ensure that students know what careers are there in internal audit. And there are very many careers. The slides I will leave with CPHL so he can share with all of you, because there is a lot of detailed information in there on the different careers. There are risk auditors, there are senior internal auditors, compliance auditors, legal auditors, forensic auditors who do investigations. So we have a lot of different careers in internal audit. It is a full field on its own. Students only think of finance and accounting, but internal audit is a different field which is all encompassing. So please feel free to join the membership. Membership gives you a lot of benefit. You get a lot of information about the standards of internal auditing. We do free webinars on internal audit, also soft skills and technical skills, like how do you, your brand, how do you present yourself? How do you even present your LinkedIn account so that you are marketable out there? We also try to link you with potential employers and also internships. IIA Global offers scholarships for students undertaking their undergraduate courses. So there are a lot of benefits. We have a lot of networking forums for students. In April, we launched the student membership at Serena, and the students who had joined then were able to come and learn and meet our global president. So there's a lot of information, a lot of benefits in becoming a student member. So because my time is very limited, I want to guide you on the student membership. I hope we've all taken a photo of our national ID and student IDs. So I'll just show you from your phone how you can type IIA Kenya. From your phone, it will be that first slide, the black one. If you type IIA Kenya on your browser, you'll see membership. You can click on membership. You just type IIA Kenya. IIA Kenya, IIA Kenya. Then you'll see the different tabs. You click on membership. You just click on membership. It will take you to a different window. You select the student member. So I hope we are moving together. So on your browser, and you type IIA Kenya, you'll see the different tabs, just as per the first slide, the first photo. And then you select membership. Membership will take you to a different window. And then there is student member. Then it will take you to the third window. And I think maybe Josephine and Cynthia, you can check through anyone having a challenge. Anyone having a challenge in logging into there. So you will see a window where you ask for your biodata. You can fill that in. You can fill in the biodata in terms of your name, your phone number. It will ask you for your area of study, so you can just fill those and then upload your national ID and student ID. You upload your national ID and student ID, and then you click submit. Anyone who has completed the process? Okay, anyone who has completed the process to the end? Okay, just allow me 2 minutes to award the students who've registered the fastest. Please feel free to continue registering and also informing your colleagues to register. The student membership is free. So Cynthia Aseka. Cynthia, where is Cynthia? Cynthia, you can come very fast. Then David Mwashigadi. Where is David? David, you can come. And then Luendi Kavira. We'll give you the gifts, but all of you just feel free. It's because our time has been very limited, but we'll be able to see your registrations. So thank you so much. I don't know when we will take questions, but it's okay. We are still around for a bit, and we can still assist even those who are stuck. So we'll give the ones who've joined earliest their gifts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, CEO. Let's clap for her and for the team. Thank you. I think they've done a good job. I would want to encourage you that you continue to register as members. Take advantage of this open membership, this free membership. You never know when you go to a job interview, they will ask you whether you are a member of a professional body. And this free membership probably will earn you the job. Are we together? Yes, kindly take advantage and register for the free, under the free student membership. I want to take this opportunity to request the production team now to play. They have told me they are ready to play the Daystar Anthem. Then from there, I will welcome the Dean School of Business to guide us to the next session. Thank you. Production team, we can all be upstanding. Just a minute, let's all be upstanding for the Daystar Anthem.
As stars and servants live.
We can take our seats as we welcome the Dean, School of Business and Economics.
Good afternoon and praise the Lord. Yes, I believe we are getting enlightened by the moment. And I want to really take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of us that have found their time to come and join us in this very special time that we are coming to learn, to also interact with friends and colleagues who are out there in the industry. We don't take it for granted. On behalf of the School of Business and Economics, I wish you a pleasant moment as we interact with our practitioners as they give us knowledge from out there. I'm Dr. Laban Chesang, the Dean School of Business and Economics, and I have a strong team that has also supported us planning through this process, and we are here together. So allow me to thank you from, I think the Institute of Certified Accountant, Institute of what? Internal Auditors. Thank you very much. I think I missed part of it, but it was not my intention, but I would have really liked to. So thank you very much. The team that is coming up next is the Capital Markets Authority, CMA, of whom we've had strong, lengthy engagement for the last year, 1 year or so, to the point that we have come to a point where we are entering into a collaboration. So this is a collaboration program that we are beginning today, initiating today. We are starting a long series of engagements with them, collaboration, finding areas of partnership with them, through the School of Business and Economics, and I believe that it's going to enrich not just the students in SBE, but also it's open for every member of Daystar family. So this is an important moment for us to reflect and also tie the pieces. As we go into classes, we are taught 1, 2, 3 things, but it's also good to learn what happens out there in the workplace. I would like to encourage the students as well, and even my colleagues, that as we also get enlightened today about the CMA, we also find opportunity where we can also learn about investing. Because the purpose is not just for us to keep going. You know, you keep going, but knowing that also there's something for you to gain financially or otherwise. So take every moment as a learning process. It's an opportunity where you engage with practitioners, people who know something extra. And in the end, that 20 shillings, that 100 Kenya shillings, that 500 Kenya shillings, that at times you spend without knowing, you may find that it can have some meaningful impact in your life. So allow me to encourage you, keep your questions as we have the moment of interaction together. We shall harvest views. I would like you to pay attention. Today is just knowledge sharing. We shall have more programs through CMA, including research, including more public lectures, research, seminars, all this. We are just starting the process. So it will be a beautiful journey to connect with industry. So allow me to recognize those of us who are here today as a team. First of all, my colleagues in the School of Business and Economics, my colleague lecturers, wherever you are. I know we are busy with classes and others, but we have colleagues who have come to just represent us. Kindly stand just for our visitors to acknowledge. Thank you very much. All right. Clap for them. So at some point, for those of us who are not familiar with each other, take a moment at some point to just get to know them. Yeah, I would like also to acknowledge our students. Yeah, you are our audience. You are actually our guests. And my congressmen and women, where are you? So kindly come here. My congressmen and women, Siboy and group, just come. so that because you've really done a lot of work in mobilizing the students. Yeah, so I just wanted to encourage you so that next time we also feel encouraged. Yeah, so this is a team that has really supported us with students that came from Athi River. Courtesy of them, they were able to mobilize to the extent that we have these huge numbers that we have today. So just your name only.
Okay, good evening. Good afternoon. Okay, my name is Nelson Yetich. I'm the Congress member at the River Campus.
Good afternoon. I'm Murithi Brian, Congress Chair at the River Campus, and I'm looking forward to you supporting us in our project wristbands here. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Purity Waway, Congress and at the River Campus, and I hope we're going to have an interactive session and get to learn more on investment. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I was outside. Welcome, everyone, especially from Athi River to Nairobi campus. I'm Lindy Siboye, Congress Representative, School of Business, Valley Road, and I hope we get to all have a learning experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other student leader from Dusa? All right, perfect. Thank you so much. All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Tracy Mutwa. I am the DUSA treasurer, and I'm also in the School of Business and Economics.
Thank you very much. Good. Yeah, so thank you very much. Students from main campus, where you raise your hands up. From Athi River all the way. Aye. Good. Clap for them. Our all students from Nairobi campus. Good, thank you. Perfect. And then we have students from the postgraduate programs as well, representatives. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence. So I thought it was important so that as we start the process, we get to know who's in here, and then we can engage. So otherwise, I look forward to also learning. It's been a while since I sat in front also on the desk to also get to learn from the practitioners. So because we've come to listen to the public lecture, I want the program to begin, but before we get there, I'll ask Professor Bowen, who will come and just make some brief remark, and then welcome the DVC to give also some opening remarks. Let's give him a clap.
Good afternoon. We are seated a bit far, and there's a lot of space here in front, but it's okay. We want to appreciate the School of Business, Professor Nguru. We want to appreciate the school for this organization. You know, every time we have an event here, the biggest challenge is, will we have the numbers? We want to appreciate that the school has done good mobilization, and we have these good numbers from Athi River and from Nairobi campus as well. Dr. Chonga, I don't know whether you had a devotion and what the devotion said about capital markets. What does the Bible say about capital markets? That is where we begin. My colleagues from capital markets, we are very particular about that. This university is a Christian university, and therefore, for everything we do, we ask ourselves, does God endorse this? So, unfortunately, I missed the devotion, but probably I'm sure there's something that was said, and we would like to appreciate that. So, Professor Nguru, would like to appreciate your presence on behalf of the Vice Chancellor. I see the Director Academic Affairs, Professor Muredi, the Dean, of course, the lecturers from the School of Business, and of course our guests. Let me also say at this point, we want to appreciate the Certified Internal Auditors team. Thank you so much for helping our students, and we want to appreciate the knowledge that we pass. Because I don't want to say much, and by the way, I'm a lecturer in your school. I know I stood up and some of you are wondering, is this one of us? I am. We'll do research and find out why I'm one of you. But I know Dr. Chesang agrees with me that I teach in this particular school. I happen to be related to CMA in a way. I don't want to say much. And when I went there, I'm an economist. I had to do a lot of learning on capital markets. And so, Professor Nguru, I'd like to ask this question. Who knows what capital markets is? Just put up your hand if you have an idea, whatever small idea that you have. Anybody knows what capital markets is? Anybody? Or it is a market for capitals? Anybody? I'm really interested. Anybody? Yes, there's one here. Thank you. Charles, I didn't say they answered the question, but yes, now that you've given them the mic, they can say something.
It is a regulatory body of public limited companies.
But I see you are reading. It's okay. Can we clap for her? She's done a good job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you can see, Professor Nguru, very few people know what capital markets is. Only one here, so very few. And therefore, I think this is really a very good opportunity for us to learn. In fact, and Professor Nguru will come and say this, as I was briefing her, she also wants to learn, you know, so all of us want to learn. So Kamunyo and Afande and Justus, we are really ready for you so that you can be able to tell us what we need to do. But make it class 101, you know. Now you see, there's only one person that would respond to what capital markets is, but even then, she tried, yes. So make it class 101, and we have something in when we teach that we call learning outcomes. So let me talk about the learning outcomes that we expect from this particular lecture. Number one, we want to understand the operations of the capital markets. Number two is practical. We want to invest in the capital markets. That's one of those things that we'd like to do. And actually, we've set up a desk behind. Those of you that would like to invest, there's more information at the back. And of course, we'd also like to publicize this very important sector. I was just telling Professor Nguru before we came here that instead of going to build a house which you rent out, or maybe to maybe get some chicken to rear, maybe at your level chicken or goats, which they get diseases, they die. This is a very sure way of investing, you know. And actually you go sleep and the money is growing, you know. I hope I'm representing it correctly. You don't need to keep saying, do we have vaccinations and so on and so on. The money just keeps growing. Even sometimes up to 10%, 15%, even sometimes up to 20%. There are very few businesses where you can make a profit of 10% clean, or 15% or 20%. So this is really an opportunity that's available to us. I don't want to say much. I want to invite our DVC, Academic Research and Student Affairs, to be able to just give our comments and then welcome our guest. Can we give her a clap even as she comes? Thank you. Can we clap? I know it's past lunchtime, but yes, thank you. Thank you. Can do better. Thank you. Even as we welcome Professor Nguru.
Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me great joy to be with everybody this afternoon, where we talk about money. I think I was given a very nice speech outline. I read through it, and I told Professor Bowen, this is too technical. If you want, I'll read it. But I told him, this is too technical. I think this is what they are coming to talk about. For me, is to welcome them to Daystar University and to say that we are very interested in learning how we can make our money grow, especially if it is that easy, that we sleep and the money is growing somewhere. And then when I came in, I heard somebody say, it's not just the millions and billions, it's even your 100 shillings and 200 shillings. From your pocket money, you can decide, instead of getting that extra ice cream, I'll invest it somewhere. And soon I'll surprise my parents that the 100 shillings has now become 200, 300. I also missed the devotion. But was there any talk of growth? There was. The person who was very foolish did not do anything with the money. Then another one who did something, and so on and so forth. True. This is endorsed of God. He has allowed us to become stewards of the very many things that we have, and of course, money is one of them. So to title this public lecture, already it is titled Investment and Wealth Creation Through the Capital Markets. I decided that I would call it Demystifying the Capital Markets, telling us what is this thing all about, because some of us have had our fingers burnt. We were told there will be a multiplication, and instead there was a division, and a very bad one. So from that point onwards, we don't want to have anything to do with anyone telling us what they'll do with our money. So there's suspicion. And if we can demystify what this is all about, we'll be very happy. It's talking about diversifying. That was part of my technical notes, saying that there are many ways in which we can give our money out, because it will not only help us personally, but even as a nation, as we think about economic development and growth. I saw in my notes something called chums. And I was informed that this is something digital that you can use to help your money grow. You know, some of us use the word chums in a very lay person language. But here we have practitioners who will help us understand this. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming to lay our fears, to give us confidence that there are possibilities of working with the authority to tell us more about what kind of rules you put in place to make sure that people's money does not disappear. We want to, in a very special way, welcome Mr. Conrad Afande. Sorry, I missed the lunch, so I didn't get to do the informal introduction. The Manager, Education and Awareness. And what a beautiful place to be here. This is the place for education and awareness. We are here ready to be educated. We have Samuel Njoroge, Senior Manager, Education, Awareness, and even further, certification. You certify our awareness. Whatever it is, you tell us and we'll be happy to learn. Lastly, Justice, for justice. Justice, and I'm saying to give our money justice so that it gets whatever it's supposed to earn. Ladies and gentlemen, the School of business and economics, other faculty members here present, students from all our campuses, and even guests who may have come for this public lecture. Let's not get us between you and the awareness and education. So gentlemen and ladies, welcome, and thank you very much for coming, and may God bless you and help you to increase. You know, we have churches that talk about increase, and they don't tell you how. Now here are the people with the how who will be telling us something. Karibuni sana. Thank you. And I'm speaking on my own behalf and on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, who is launching his book in a few hours' time, so things are getting very, very busy for him. Karibuni.
Thank you very much indeed, the Deputy Vice Chancellor. Tumpigie makofi. Asante. Thank you very much. So we are very glad to be here. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, or the Principal of the college, who is also our Director, Professor Bowen. Tumpigie Professor makofi. You know, I love my job also, so I have to make sure that he's happy. But all protocols observed. Also, we have Dr. Sang. He's been very useful in trying to make sure that we get these events together. So we are from the Capital Market Authority, and maybe to begin with, let me just very quickly introduce the people who are here. We have Justus. Justus, we could just stand up and wave at the people. So we'll be making the presentation, myself and Conrad here. And then we'll answer the simple questions. But then when the hard questions come, Justus is the one who will be answering them. So that's why he's here. But so we want just to start the presentation. But before we do that, we just really want to thank the university for really hosting us here. What we want to do here is a one-on-one, just really talking to you about the basics of capital markets. Having had a very long discussions with Professor Bowen, he's actually pushed us, really trying to make sure that this partnership between Daystar and the Capital Market Authority actually works. And between himself and our Chief Executive, Mr. Shamia, we've been able to be here today, and we are hoping that we are going to do much more than just coming for this particular event. So we are very grateful. Also, I see some few people that I know around here. But I just want to mention one person. Bona Chilchil, do you want just to stand and wave to the people? Chilchil has been with us for a very long time. Tumpigie makofi. Mpige makofi mazuri. Yeah, so he's been at the Capital Market Authority for a long time, and he's really, maybe the reason we are also here, because in the sense that when we came to the authority, he held our hands and he was able to show us, the direction. So thank you very much, Chilchil. I was very surprised to see you here, but welcome. Asante. So without further ado, I think we will be able to start our presentation. I've heard about devotion, and I decided I'll give you some verse, musinione hivyo, that can actually, if you just take the Ecclesiastes, is that the way it's pronounced? Chapter 11, verse 2. Anybody who can read that for us? Okay, fine. If you do, just before you get it, it says, invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. So that's what it actually says. And I remember the DVC here talking about diversification. So it's all about that. So you invest in different places because you don't know what is going to happen to the world, so that even if one area doesn't succeed, then you're able to make your money. And I also being reminded by Justus about the talent. I don't know, the one who had a lot was given. What happened to the person? Yeah, they got even more. So Yeah, so it is biblical, Dr. Sang. It's actually biblical, what it is that we're trying to bring here. So if I can have my presentation on. So what we're going to do is that we're going to make the presentation between myself and Conrad. Conrad, ni ama ni uongo? Okay, fine. So we'll make the presentation with Conrad. After we make the presentation, then we'll give you an opportunity to be able to ask us whatever questions you're going to ask us, and then we'll move it from there. I hope I've not missed any protocol. Normally when I go to teach, I don't do protocols, so I'm overwhelmed by the protocols here. So, and they're good, beautiful. So we'll just start with the presentation, and we are starting with some famous quotes. Conrad, who is this gentleman?
He looks familiar. I think he's my high school teacher, I'm not sure.
How many of us know this gentleman over there?
Does he look familiar?
Yeah? Warren Buffett. He's saying Buffett. Is it Buffett or is it Buffet? Okay, fine. It's Warren Buffett. We've been talking about him being as the second richest man in the world. Not anymore. I think there are a couple of people who are actually now richer than him. Currently, who is the richest man in the world? Guys, you know what? You're not going to keep quiet. We are going to talk. Tukubaliane, sawa? Nipigieni makofi kama mnataka tuongee. So this is it's not a lecture. We have to engage. So this is Warren Buffett. I think now he's the 9th or 10th richest person in the world. He says that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And you remember, it's good to stay around people who have a lot of knowledge. The DVC had already spoken about that you should be able to sleep and the money works for you. So the next thing that he has actually said is that I never attempt to make money in the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen, or for the next, 10 years. So that's another thing we'll be talking about. What does that mean? We'll be talking to you about that. But I think the final one, which is very, very important, is the fact that do not save what you have left after spending, but rather spend what you have after saving. So what you're saying is that a lot of people we speak to, they say, you're talking about us saving money, but we don't have money to spend. We spend the money, then it's finished, so we don't save. But what we are saying is that we are turning that around. The only time you start spending is after you do what? After you save. So let's move to the next one. And then also, Warren Buffett continued to speak to us, and he says that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Conrad, what is that?
It's actually a very good statement. When you think about the stock market, it's people that want to raise funds. That's the impatient person that wants to give money to you, the public. So you have to be a patient person, because Kamunyu, I think you'll agree that capital markets is not for people who want quick money.
No.
If you want quick money, then, let's go. This is not. Don't listen to us. Capital market is called patient money. It's about long term, and I think we'll demonstrate that shortly.
And it's very good that we're speaking to very young people here, yes. so that they have a lot of time to be able to put their money in and then wait for the money to grow. Yeah. So we thought we'd start with we were told that we need to demystify these capital markets. Yeah. So there are certain common myths, misconception, what people think about the capital market that is wrong. We want just to make sure that we're clear. Conrad, let's take it up.
Yeah, actually, I know we're a bit short on time, but I'll just pick on 2 or 3. Now, a moment ago, somebody asked you, what is capital markets? And I saw 1 or 2 hands up. But do you all understand the stock market? Does anyone understand what the stock market is? If you understand, say, yo. I'd be like a rap. Hey. So the stock market, now, the perception, how many people here gamble? Hey, I know you. Don't make you, no, just raise your hand. How many people gamble?
Okay, let me just put it this way. How many people bet?
Yes.
Arsenal fans, are you here?
Okay, so the misconception, a lot of people come up to us and say, capital markets, the stock market it's like gambling. I mean, gambling, I can make more money. But you're wrong. Remember, in capital markets, you actually have informed data that Kamunyu will talk about. He's got research. when you gamble, the house always wins. Gambling is actually meant for you to lose. The only difference is in capital markets, when you make money in capital markets, they don't put your face in newspapers saying, hey, a fund, they made money. But in gambling, win even 10,000, you'll be the nation, correct? So when you see that, it looks juicy. Oh, I've got to gamble. But remember, if you can spend, Kenyans spend 2,000 shillings per day in gambling. If you can take that money and put that in capital markets, you'd be a very wealthy person. Now, I want you to Google this after the session. For you, there's a greater chance, remember this, there's a bigger chance of a KQ Boeing 747 crashing in here than you winning 100 million. Ooh. I can see somebody here, but it's true. Yeah? The odds are totally against you. So capital market is not like gambling. Now, the other thing, Kamunyu.
Yes.
Do you have to have money for capital markets? Because I see people that look at us like, your capital market, you've got money. This is not for us. What do you say
No,
to that?
absolutely not. I mean, you can come to the capital market. Currently, we are talking about stocks and shares that are selling for 1 shilling. If you go to the stock market, you'll be able to get a share that is selling for 1 shilling. There's a share selling for 2 shillings. There's a share selling for 5 shillings. Like currently, we're talking about KenGen between 2 and 3 shillings. So if you wanted to buy a share of KenGen, you need how much money? 1. One share. Say 3 shillings. Are we together? Now, the minimum you need to buy in terms of shares is 100 shares. So today, we agree with you that you are in this market and you have opened a CDS account, Central Depository account, where you're going to store your shares. And we agree that after what I will have said here and Conrad will have said, you're going to start investing. And you want to buy KenGen shares, and you just need 100 shares as a minimum. But the each is costing 2 shillings and 50 cents, 3 shillings. So how much money do you need to start investing in shares? Hello? I've said you need a minimum of 100, and the price is 3. So how much money do you need? So
Yeah,
is that a rich person?
You know, Kamunyu.
Yes.
When you're talking, I'm just thinking, 300.
Yes.
Let me do an experiment. I'd like everyone here just to show me your cell phone, your mobile phone. I'm not a thief, don't worry, I'm not going to take it. Just wave your phone in the air. There's a reason I'm doing this. Put your phone up in the air. Now, what's the average cost of the phone that you have? Just say, how much is yours? How much is your phone? What's the average? Don't be shy. Who's got an iPhone? Richard, don't raise your hand. You're a different league. You're like, this guy can buy the school, man.
Yeah.
So what's the average cost of your mobile phone? I know that students have an average cost of 20,000. True or false? You've got to be so cool. I've got to get the in phone.
Especially from Daystar.
Exactly. You know? So with that 20,000, if you put that 20,000 in the stock market, in about 3 or 4 years,
Correct.
it can go up to about 500,000 in the market. So I
Yeah.
think I like what you said.
Yes.
Yeah. And then lastly, do you have to, if I don't have money right now, can I borrow to buy shares?
No, we don't recommend that you borrow to buy shares, because once you borrow money, there's a certainty that you have to return that money. But in the stock market, you come and put your money in shares, the price can go up and then it can go down. So in the event that you actually buy shares and the price goes down, then what happens? You are unable to return the money that you actually borrowed. So you usually say the money that you're going to use to buy shares or to invest is money that you have actually saved. Thank you. If you could just go to, okay, fine. So we would just want to talk about the benefits of capital markets in the economy. And I'll really just move very fast on this one. So we're talking about a long-term mobilization of savings. It is within the capital markets that you are able, once you save your money, then you can put that money out and put it within investment by buying a share, buying a bond. And it becomes easy that because once you put that money in a bank, you don't get any serious interest. But if you actually put that money in the capital market industry, then you're able to have your money being able to grow. Number 2, we talk about broader ownership of productive assets. Here, we're talking about the fact that the capital markets allow you and I to own companies. By the way, how many people own a bank here? Anybody who owns a bank here? Nobody. Okay, fine. How many people here have a share there? They have bought a share of a bank? Oh, I see now owners of bank are actually coming up. So if you buy a share, basically what it actually means is that you become a part owner of that particular company. If you buy a share, you become a part owner of that particular company. For example, if you are a shareholder of, say, I'm thinking about a good company, Kenya Airways. Well, we can have a discussion about whether it's a good company. So if you buy a share of Kenya Airways today, and then there's a plane that is passing over there, you have the right to say that that plane over there is mine. That sounds outrageous, isn't it? Because that Kenya Airways you've bought is the one that owns that plane that is moving around. And then you have bought a certain number of shares. So you have a part ownership of that particular airplane. That is one of the benefits of being able to buy shares. Same for banks, ABSA, Kenya, KCB. KCB now, it's around 30 shillings. So if you want to be an owner of KCB today, going forward, all you need is 30 times 100. How much money is that? 3,000. It's as simple as that. And when you see, like recently, KCB was at 20 shillings thereabout. Currently, we are talking it at 30 shillings. If you had actually bought, then you are seeing that you have almost done 50% additional, money that you have actually been able to create within, your portfolio. The other thing is that, let me just not read all of them. We can always have discussions. Promote public-private partnership. Again, this is another area whereby you are able to see government and the private sector working together to be able to grow this country. Just going down, they provide investment opportunities for domestic savings with the emphasis of capital formation and consumerism. So there are a number of things that this capital market industry actually does in terms of helping the country. Like currently, we have a situation whereby the government is borrowing. And we are saying that when the government borrows outside, what then that does is that money goes outside our country. But within the capital market industry, you are able to see the government being able to buy by issuing bonds. And then it is able to buy from, to raise money from its people. So these are some of the things that you talk about in terms of just being able to know how the capital market is helping the economy. You could just move forward. So what are these products we're talking about, Conrad? Shares.
We've got a whole buffet.
Yes.
And a whole buffet. Is it buffet or buffet?
Buffet.
A whole buffet of products. Everything that you're seeing out here are products within the capital markets. But Kamunyu,
yes.
I think because we're just starting out,
yes.
Let's focus on shares, equities, bonds, shares, and
Correct, Conrad. We actually said that we are going to do 101 today. Yes. And I just want to talk about this particular. So we have the equities market. That's where you have your shares, you have collective investment scheme, unit trust. We'll be talking about them shortly. And then you have the debt market. Here, this is where you talk about treasury bonds, corporate bonds. We talk about preference bonds. All those, they are called fixed income securities. We'll talk about them shortly. Then we have derivatives market. Then we have the regulatory sandbox. These are things that we're going to talk about. We just want to show you. If you come to the capital market industry, you can buy shares, you can buy bonds, you can buy unit trust. For today, we are going to talk about those three products. Let's move to the next. Conrad, I know you love this slide.
No, it's a bit of a busy. Don't get intimidated by the slide that you see here. What I'm trying to demonstrate, and we will share this presentation with you. I want you to appreciate that capital markets it's really tied to many factors. And what you're seeing here is actually from 2016 until 2023. And it shows the relationship between what's going on locally and globally and the price of the share. For example, in 2007, 2008, who can tell us what happened globally in the financial markets? 2007, 2008, what happened globally? What happened globally? Just say.
There's someone of us.
Okay, but there's another word. It's called a global
Financial
the
crisis,
global
yes.
financial crisis, okay? But the beauty about the global financial crisis is Kenya at the time was not, we didn't have a Eurobond. We were not exposed to any local, any local currency. So you see that our equities, the stocks were actually good. And if you look at the bond market, it keeps rising. During elections, you'll see that the price of the shares actually goes up. Why? Because people have confidence in our markets. And you can see, and it's data that speaks for itself. I mean, everything has been going up over the years, okay? Even right now, everyone talks about Gen Z, but the shares are still resilient. In fact, right now, Kamuni will demonstrate that the unit trusts are doing quite well, the bond market's doing quite well. So as a shareholder, when you start to invest, you have to be careful in looking at what's happening at the micro factors. If God forbid, if something happens and there's some political issue, I know right now we're going through some interesting political times.
Correct.
And I'm sure it's affecting the price of shares.
Absolutely.
Positive or negative, but in the long term, it's always much better, and that demonstrates that.
Sure. So now, if you want to invest in anything, what do you need to have? And I want us to go about this very slowly. If you want to do any kind of investment, and in this case, you want to invest within the capital market industry, the first thing that you need to do is identify your investment goal. Why do I want to invest? What do I want to achieve? That is absolutely critical. Number two, you need to make sure that you have learned the basics of the investments that you're looking at. We're talking about here, if you want to invest in shares, you need to know what are shares. If you want to invest in bonds, you need to know what are bonds. If you want to invest in real estate investment trust, you need to know what they are. Then based on your goal and what you have as basics of the investment you want to make, then you choose the appropriate investment, the one that answers to your goal based on the information that you have. And then after that, don't sit back, manage your investment. Say, for example, you are Kamunyu, and you're thinking, my goal is to be able to make this amount of money in 10 years. So I begin to invest today. And then maybe I decide I'm going to invest in the world of shares. So I start investing in shares. I have a goal. I've already understood that a share is a part ownership of a company. That means I become an owner of that particular company. And that means that if a company makes profit, then the company sometimes distributes the profit. And then I'm going to be given, the amount of money I'm going to be given is the profit that the company makes and decides to distribute, divided among the people who have actually been able to be owners of that particular company on a pro rata basis, according to how much you have actually been able to save. So then you need to manage your portfolio. If you buy shares, bonds, then keep following and making sure that you understand how the market is moving, and of course you can get advice from our service providers. Then you're able to see, should I sell, should I buy? There are a lot of people who actually bought shares 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and they have never come back to see how they can reorganize their portfolio. That is very, very important, that even after you buy shares, you need to remain alert so that you're able to see what market is doing better and where you can go. Currently, as you're speaking now, a lot of shares are on the downward spiral. We're talking about a lot of shares, the prices are low. Safaricom, 15, 16 shillings. Previously, we were seeing it at 30 shillings plus. But chances are that the moment we rectify our macroeconomics factors, the moment the economy starts moving forward, then you find that you'll be able to start seeing these shares prices going up. And that's how you benefit. So we could not have come here at a better time, when the prices, is that true? The prices are down, isn't it? When the prices are down generally, so there's an expectation that once we fix our politics, fix our economy, then the prices start doing what? Start going up, and it is abracadabra. Then you're able to get your returns. So this is the time actually to come to market. So, but yeah, keep going. Keep touching. So, just go back, So one of the things that we want to mention here is that you need to know yourself. This is very important. Because I'm told between the ladies and the gentlemen, who takes more risk? Ladies in the house, who takes more risk? The ladies, yeah? I'm with you. But I'm told that the ladies take more risk because if they have issues, the men will come and assist, isn't it? Anyway, so just you need to know how much risk you can take as an individual. This is very important because a lot of people will get themselves in some risk and then they start dying of high blood pressure. So you need to know how much risk can I take as an investor. I know I'm speaking to students here. Maybe you have some money that you have been given to last you for a semester. And then you decide you're going to put this money in an investment. You need to know how risky that investment is. I remember when I was in campus, we used to be told that a lot of students, when they come to campus, they start eating chicken. You know, for the first few days, you're eating chicken. And then after some time, you will start eating chicken products. These are eggs and, you know, those kind of things. And finally, towards the end of the semester, you're eating what? Yeah? You eat what chicken eats. So that is also showing that you need to be able to just manage your money. It's very, very critical. So how much risk you can take is absolutely very critical. Some of the factors you need to look at is the amount of money you have that you can lose. That's very critical. Number two, you need to know your time frame. Conrad, am I speaking to someone?
No, you're speaking. Actually, as you're talking, it reminds me, when you talk about your risk, it reminds me of one time I lost a lot of money. I used to have hair. I used to have an afro. So this will happen to you. Okay, I'm just telling you, okay? I used to have a lot of hair. I'm just saying that. Go on.
Okay, brilliant. So the time you have, if you're an old person, obviously you have less time. If you have a young person like you guys, you have more time. So a younger person can take more risk than an old person. The older you become, the less you can take risk in the market. So we will be talking about risk, and then there's also the emotional ability to handle risk. How much can you handle? Check your health. How much can you handle in terms of health? If you have some, some chronic illnesses, you need to be very careful about what kind of risk you're actually taking. And then based on you understanding yourself, then you decide what kind of investment to be able to pursue. And I'll talk about then what do you, but maybe the points to make here is, Conrad, the last point.
Yes, the point is there's no right or wrong way. Okay, it's about you. Now, I think the problem that we have in Kenya is we like to follow people. Everyone's running and you just follow. Where are we running? I don't know, but let me just enjoy it. You know, a new restaurant opens, you go into the restaurant. Why? Do you like this restaurant? No, but it's new, I'm here. You know, be just like the cool in thing. Investments are not like that. My investment profile is different from yours. Kamunyu, your investment is different from mine. If he is buying shares, I don't have to buy. I don't know how much money you have. So please, make sure you look at your own profile before the other.
Okay, fine. So we talked about, we will talk about different products. This is the shares. And you are saying that they are equity investments. It is part ownership of a company. So currently we have about 65 companies that are actually listed on the stock market, and you can buy each one of them. So what usually happens is that if you want to buy a share, you go to the stock market, and you make an order. Initially, you need to have a CDS account. For you to be able to open a CDS account, you pay 0 shillings. It's not free, but you pay 0 shillings to be able to open a CDS account. I'm saying the same thing.
That's expensive.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it is, you don't pay anything, you just go, give your ID, give your passport size photograph, and then you're able to open a CDS account. And once you open a CDS account, you just need to fund the account, and then you give an order to a stockbroker, and they'll be able to come and buy for you. We have agreed from 100 shillings all the way to as much as you want to be able to put in the capital market, you can actually begin to buy shares. You are buying into a company, meaning if a company is a good company, it's making profit, Once they share the profit, they share to you according to how much money you have been able to put. This is not money you've given anybody that you're expecting to get it back. You take the risk of owning that particular company. One of the things that you usually say is that make sure you choose the right company once you're buying shares. And it has been confirmed that over a period of time, shares outperform all kind of assets you can actually think about. So that is the issue to do with shares. Let's just move to the next slide. Conrad, this is collective investment scheme.
Yeah, you know, when you look at collective investment scheme, the word scheme is a bad word in Kenya, correct? Because when you say scheme, you think about a pyramid scheme. But in the context of capital markets, to make it simpler, a collective investment scheme is a chama. Okay, so in capital markets, we have a chama called a collective investment scheme. Now the difference, this is a chama that's managed by a professional called a fund manager. That fund manager, their job is to invest your money with a group of people. And right now, I don't want to take your thunder, but I mean, Kamuni will demonstrate to you the figures in the last 15 years of how this has grown. So if you're not comfortable buying shares individually, you can go into a collective investment scheme that perform very well. There's some, in fact, Professor Boyne was talking about, there's so many applications for fund managers in the capital market. So this is a good thing to start with.
Absolutely. I think what you're saying here is that collective investment schemes is whereby there will be a fund manager professional. So what you'll do is that, like he said, if you're uncomfortable coming to the market straight away buying shares, and you want to buy share in an indirect way, what the fund manager does is that they pick your money, they pick money from everybody else out there, and then they put that money together, and then they'll invest that money as one pool. And what will happen is that once they make their returns, they'll give you your return on a pro rata basis. That's how I will keep using pro rata basis, according to how much money you've been able to put. And we have a lot of these CISs or unit trust collective investment schemes, like money market fund. All these funds are managed by one professional, a fund manager. So they'll pick money from Kenyans across, including yourself once you register to this unit trust. And then they will invest for you. Once they invest for you, then every so often they'll be telling you how much returns you have based on the little amount of money you have been able to put within the unit trust. Let's just proceed. Investment in bonds, and I know this is an area that just as usually like. Investment in bonds is another product. Product number 3. So we have talked about today, already we have talked about what? Shares, and then unit trust or CIS is now, the third product we're going to talk about today is bonds. Bonds is whereby a government or a corporation or a company needs to expand, and what they do is that they issue a bond. It is called an IOU, whereby they tell Kenyans, can you lend us money to be able to run our project, but we are going to return this money at a certain time. We're talking about a situation like, let's say, for example, it is a 5-year bond. So the government wants to run its projects, its plans. They want maybe even to do whatever it is that they want to do. Now, they are short of, say, a couple of billions. So they'll come to the market and say, we are issuing a bond of 70 billion. And it is going to run for 5 years. And then the interest you're going to get if you buy this bond is that you're going to get 15%. What that means is that the government is borrowing money from you. So they give you a promissory note so that you have something to hold on to, saying that you have bought a bond from the government. Now, what the government does is that every year they give you that 15%. But the way they give it is that after every 6 months, they give you 7.5%. And then after another 6 months, they give you 7.5%. That is 15%. And they'll continue giving you that 7.5% every 6 months until the end of the 5 years. And what do they do after 5 years? They return back your money, the one that you gave. So that's how it works out, meaning that, for example, if you bought 100,000 worth of a bond that is giving out 15%, what will happen? How much do you get? 15,000. Are we together? Every year. That means after 6 months, they give you 7,500. Another 6 months, they give you 7,500. And the good thing is that with government, chances of a government defaulting are very, very slim. Recently, we had a scare that Kenya might have wanted to default, but that didn't happen because no government wants to be seen in a situation where they want to default. So this is a debt. You're actually buying into a debt, and you are sure that every 6 months you get a certain amount of money, and you are sure that at the end of the period of the bond, you get your money back. Conrad.
Now, real quickly, this is a slide that shows, we talked about the bonds, we talked about the unit trusts, and we talked about the shares. Now, understand there's a risk profile for everything, okay? Now, if you look at cash, cash is the safest, the low risk. Cash is cash. And cash, you can put money in a fixed deposit in a bank, okay? Now, the good news is the fixed deposit in banks actually rising because they're competing with other products, okay? So with cash, if you want to be rich, cash is not the way to go. Okay? You've got to take a bit of a risk. Now, if you look at the next one, a unit trust is a much more lower risk because you've put your money with every other person. You've got a professional that's managing it for you. The risk is good. The returns are predictable, okay, like you talked about.
Absolutely.
11 to 15%, okay? Yes. Bonds, again, bonds are safe and bonds are predictable. And let me tell you something. And as we speak, we are speaking to students and we're speaking to faculty as well, because I know there's some faculty here, okay? The bond market, if you're a young person, because I'm seeing the average age here is about, what do you say, Kamuni? What's the average age looking at here?
15?
Okay. But I think I can see
around 20.
But then Richard is there, so let's move it up higher.
No, that's a very young man.
Oh no, okay. His hair is black though. He's got hair. But anyway, a bond. If you're young like you are, you can take more risks. You can put all your money in an equity. If it goes down, you've got time to recover. But if you're much older, if you're as old as Kamunyu, he looks young, but he's an old man. Okay. If he's young as old as Kamunyu, you want to go into bonds because bonds are much safer. Because history and statistics has shown that if you are over a certain age and you lose money, should I say it? Yeah. You'll die. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Every time I say it, it's not a joke. You know?
Yeah.
But it's like we've had situations where people have retired and they've put all their hard-earned money into a product that's wrong. Okay, and when they lose it, it'll affect you. So please know your and then we've got other more complicated products. Those are for much later. Okay, and remember, do not get into something unless you're really confident and you can talk to us and we'll understand it.
Thank you. The next slide. So now this is just what Conrad has been talking about. Here we're talking about there is low risk. It usually the relationship is this way, that when the risk is low, the return is low. The higher the risk, the higher the return. So cash, low risk, low return. Followed by money market or unit trust. Again, you're able to see that is low risk, is slightly higher than cash, but lower than equity funds. So you have an equity fund, whereby it is money being bought by you by a fund manager. Again, then you go to the stock market. And the most risky there at the end is what? Yeah, a duka and a road reserve. So basically that's what we are talking about. The more you move towards that other side, then you see that there are some areas that you get higher risk. Let's keep going. I'll just to give you an idea, just go back to give you an idea about some of the shares that we have in the market. Lose a lot of money. Let's move to the next one. Yeah, we will not just go to the next one. This is the slide that Conrad has been talking about. People are now investing money in money market funds. They are investing money in unit trust. Currently, we are talking about, and I think 10 years ago, just as it was 56 billion. So you're seeing that really going. And by the way, I keep talking about just as he's our money number cruncher at the Capital Markets Authority. So there is people who are actually going there, and that tells you that that's an area you can actually come in and actually be able to make a lot of money in the unit trust area. And it's an area also you are going to use a professional, give them money, they invest for you, and they will give you, you'll be able to see the kind of money they usually make in the market. Let's move to the next slide. How many have ever seen this picture? What can you see?
2 chickens.
The two animals are? A bull and a bear. In the market, you'll hear a lot of that, a bull and a bear. Oh, come on. I forgot that I had actually written a bull versus a bear. So when we are talking about, and I just want to demystify the capital markets. When we say the market is bearish, we are saying the market is down. It's going down. You can see that thing going down. But when the market is going up, we say the market is bullish. So let no one scare you at bullish, bearish. And then you're thinking it is something very, very out of this world. A bull market is a market that is going up, and a bear market is actually, currently we have a kind of, just this, bear market. Oh, there. Okay, fine. Let's move to the next slide. I just want us to have a question there, just to tinker your mind. Which one of the 2 earnings options running for a fixed 2 years period would you choose? Option 1, you earn 1 shillings in a month, in month 1, but each subsequent month, and the amount is doubled. Okay? So you are earning whatever shillings a month, but if each month is burned, that means the second month you earn 2 shillings, the third month 3 shillings, like that, and it goes like that. I can see this technology is trying to ICT people, we are told that they sometimes step on the wire so that you know that they are actually around. Eh? That's a joke. So you continue like that for 2 years, and then the other one, you earn 100,000 every month for 2 years. Which option do you want to take? How many take option 1? You are getting 1 shilling every month, and the money keeps doubling. Every month, the second month you get 2 shillings, the third month you get 4, like that, until 2 years. Which option do you take? And then the second one is 100,000 Kenya shillings every month for the 2 years. Which one do you think is a good option? Achana kujifanya werevu hapa. So option 1 is, how many are for option 1? Okay, option 2? Okay, let's see how it actually goes. I just want to show you an idea about how investment goes. Okay, very quickly. So in this case, this is 1.5 years down the line. So the first 1.5 years, you're seeing the 11th month there. He has the first guy has 2,047. The second guy has 1,000,000.1. Then you go up to the 18th month. You're seeing the first guy here has 262,000, and the other guy has 1.8 million. How many are still for option 1? There are a few there. How many are for option 2? How many don't know? Okay, fine. Let's go to the. So this is now 10th month down the line. We have it over there. I think that was supposed to come earlier. Let's go to the next one. So this is 24 months down the line after 2 years. So you can see our first guy there has made 16,777,215. And then our person who was getting 100,000 every month is at 2.4 million. So which is the better option? Option 1. So this is what we call the miracle of compounding. If you just go to the next slide. So it's what we're calling the miracle of compounding. Investment, that's how investment works. You may think that you're getting that amount of money, you're getting so often, yeah, there you are. So, and it's good, a lot of people we are talking about here are young people. The earlier you start investing, the better. Just move us to the next slide. This is what it actually shows. There are two people here. One started 40 years ago, putting 150 shillings per month. But there's a guy who started 20 years ago, putting 300 every month. And then they are able to, the first guy that does for 40 years, the second guy does 20 years. They do the same amount of money, 72,000 and 72,000 at 9%. But you can see the guy who started 40 years ago makes 667,000. But the guy who started, like me and Conrad later, is making 202,000. That is the beauty of starting early and making sure that slowly by slowly you continue investing within the market. Let's keep moving. And this is very important, and I know, I think it's something that has been talked about before by especially Dr. Sang, and I think also Professor Bowen, the issue of protection. How do you protect yourself in the market? And the way to protect yourself, there are a couple of ways. First, make sure that the seller who is selling you a product is licensed. Just make sure the seller is licensed. Don't go there and you're told it's a wonderful project and you buy without knowing that. In the event I have a problem, where do I go? Conrad?
If you've got a problem, you can actually come to CMA. We actually have, and I know you'll talk about it later, and there are other platforms that you'll show, but we have a capital markets fraud investigation unit. You can actually come to us. We have so many tools on our website. We have a mobile app, and I know that you'll demonstrate later, so that's important.
Yes, and then the next issue is the investment has to be registered also, not just the licensee being licensed, but we just want a situation whereby the investment is also registered. The other issue is the issue is you need to compare the risk and the returns. They have to compare. Let no one tell you that I'm going to give you an investment whereby there is no risk, but the return is so high. That doesn't work anywhere. When the deal is too good, think twice, because it's really too good. So a product that is going to have high return has to have high risk. But if someone is going to tell you that you're giving, let me pick your 200,000, and in 18 days I'm going to double that money. Just forget about that completely. Nothing like that is going to happen. Ask yourself, where does that person put the money so that they're able to give you that double? And I've met people in this country, and they come and tell me, there's this product, and we've been told that we are going to be doubled our money in 18 months. I tell them, no, that is not true. And then they're like, why benefit? The funny thing is that a couple of months later, they usually tell me, hey, by this, kama yuko sababu wewe unakuanga stock market, si unaweza tusaidia, we are going to get back our money. So please make sure that you are very, very careful about what and you understand the investment. It is a share I've talked about. It is being offered by the Capital Market Authority by making sure that it licenses companies, and so you understand the investment. But don't just go for the money without thinking about what you're investing in. So what is that last one, Conrad?
The last one is where you can turn to for help,
yes,
which I mentioned. You've got so many options. And we understand, in fact, recently, I'm not sure if you've heard about, there's a big issue in Eldoret, okay? There's a scam person who's created a pyramid scheme. And even though we don't regulate pyramid schemes, part of it was camouflaged as an online Forex manager, so which we regulate. So it's something that we're investigating. So it's really important to do your research first. Yeah.
So maybe, Conrad, you can also tell us about what is this Capital Market app?
This is the Capital Markets app, okay? So if you get a chance, I know when we walked in, you were all downloading an app, but if you get a chance, We have the CMA app. It has all the information. I know Professor Bowen has it. If you're on iOS, you can actually download it from iOS, okay? If you are on Android, you can come to our website. We're working on Google Play to have it there, but you can come to the website and download it there. Lots of good information. It's got links to other intermediaries. You've got a personal savings tool. You can actually start your own savings agenda, so really cool.
But let me talk about Dosika app. Let me talk about Dosika app. And I know I'm running out of time. The next one. The Dosika app, the next one. So one of the things that we've actually done is that there has been an issue around people saying, I don't want to go to a stockbroker. It is a lot of process. I don't want, just doing things, through physically going to a stockbroker's firm. We have actually made that easier. You can actually invest through a mobile phone. You can actually, by actually going to Play Store, if you're from Android like myself, or if you are or iOS, you can go to Apple Store and be able to download an app called Dosika. Dosika is an app actually that opens the markets to you. You actually go into that app and you're able to open that, to actually download that app, register yourself, open a CDS account, fund the account, and start beginning to invest within the market. It is as simple as that. And the good thing about it is that before you invest, you are able to see all those shares. You're able to know how much money you can actually be able to put. How many people have heard about Dosika before? You're all lying because I've just told you about it. So you have already heard it before, isn't it? So, yes, so Dosika, I repeat, Dosika. What is Dosika in that other language? Becoming rich, isn't it? So if you want to Dosika, if you want to be able to come to the market, I said, if you want to come to this market and buy shares, the way to do it is open a CDS account, then put money in that account, and then ask the broker to buy you shares. They'll buy you shares and you'll be able to see them. If there was time, I'll have actually been able to show you. I bought a few shares because, I'm a regulator. I'm not allowed to buy too many shares. So I have just bought a few shares. I would have shown you how it actually works. And then you're able to buy shares and you're able to continue following. Like if I check my account here, I'm able to see the number of shares that there are not many, a few shares that I've actually been able to buy. So don't think you can only buy shares through going to a broker. You can actually go through here. What it does is that once you get in, it gives you a chance to open a CDS account. It gives you a chance also to get a broker and to be able to begin to operating in the market. I don't know whether you want to add something on that.
No, just to say, and I know we're out of time, but the Dosika is a very, if you don't remember anything today, remember Dosika. Please go and download. And I know Kamuni will talk about the next slide. I think, let me actually quickly mention, we've got also DoCSD, not Dosika, but DoCSD. You just go to CBK, the CBK website, and you can actually download, and this enables you to purchase bonds and treasury bills. Very simple. You don't have to pay anything. You can open online. Very simple. So if you can't remember anything, remember Dosika, DoCSD, and the CMA app. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We will be sharing the presentation. We're just about towards the tail end of this presentation. One of the things that we want to achieve by coming here is that we get you to start beginning to invest. And then the other thing that we want to make sure is that you don't do like this gentleman who is here. He sells before the boom and buys before the crash. I'll let you get that into your system. Next. This is where you get information about capital market. We'll be sharing this presentation. And then next is, again, where you can be able to identify which companies that you want. And then the next thing is just make sure that you take care of yourself. Because if you don't, then you find yourself in a situation whereby you're getting in and someone is telling you that they are open 24 hours, they'll double your money, and then later you find that they are closed 24 hours, and you're crying and asking, where was CMA when I was actually buying shares? So be warned. And these are areas that what we do to make sure that you're protected. Conrad talked about making sure that you have CMFIU, that is a Capital Market Fraud Investigation Unit. What they do is that they are policemen, they are with us. In case you have a problem, they are able to sort out your problem. Another thing is that we are able to also make sure that there's a compensation fund in the event that a broker or dealer falls, then you are compensated to a certain extent. Whistleblower portal. And also, very importantly, you have SMS alert. In the event that you have actually bought shares and someone starts either want to sell the shares without letting you know, you get an alert saying that there's someone who wants to sell your shares, and you're able to say that it's me or it's not me. And that also happens with banks. So with that on, I just want to really thank you for listening to me. And this is a point where you clap.
Thank you.
Thank you, our presenters. Can we clap for them? I want to invite the Associate Dean, School of Business, to move a vote of thanks. Then Director Academic Affairs, but I'm being informed that Director Academic Affairs should move the vote of thanks. Thank you so much, CMA. I think you deserved a full day. So we'll see what to do, whether I can call you another day. Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I think we need to clap for them. Yes, I want to thank the team led by Professor Bowen and the CEO in absentia, and my friends. I know we have interacted before. Today is a great day, especially because this is something that has been planned for a long time. We thought we will have the agreement before this day, but somehow it's coming. And are these not good people to work with? Yeah, I think, by the way, when you are here, I thought that you are better than some of our teachers. And so I'm here as the Director of Academic Affairs to ask Dr. Chesang, these people can teach. So can you think about that? Because money issues are usually very sensitive. And a lot of, sometimes people don't know how to talk about money, especially bringing the nitty details. And they've done it so well. You know, it looks like, when I saw the two of them, I thought each had a presentation, only to realize that they are working together. And they are braiding, they're able to gel. So we are very, very grateful as a university. Madam DVC, thank you for you being here. I think they have educated you also, especially when you say that you invested money in a place where it was very attractive, but you got nothing at the beginning. So it's so people, I think we want to thank them very much, and we want to ask them to come many times. As a university, we are open for more opportunities. Please, I know you have educational issues, you have investment matters, you have competition, you have so many of these programs. So welcome on board, and please feel free. Anytime you want to have any presentation in Daystar or any engagement with the university, we are free. Again, on behalf of the VC, Madam DVC, who is here, and everybody in the university, School of Business, led by Dr. Chesang, and the team who are here. Welcome, and we are so grateful for today. And one of the things that we go with as we leave this place is that at your age is the best time to invest. Did you hear that? You can start with what? One sharing. I'm sure you have a sharing. Anyone without a sharing? So you can start investing today. Am I right? You can start investing today. You can start with one sharing. You saw the person who started with one sharing, it doubles. After the time, by the time you come to retire, or by the time you decide to share your wealth with your children, some of who are not yet born, you'll be sharing millions. But if you don't invest, you can also tell about your fate. So they are God sent to us to talk to our students and also to help us to be able to start that path of investment. Otherwise, thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate you and tell you, come again and again and again.
Thank you, Director.
So I'm told that the time is up, so I don't know who is doing the final prayers.
We want to welcome one of our postgraduate students, Bernard, to pray for us. But as he comes in front, just an announcement that we have tea and refreshment served in the mezzanine floor. just
Yeah.
abstain.
So the next time you hear there is something to do with the Capital Market Authority, you should bring your friend and another friend. This place should be full. Okay? Let's make that promise.
Yeah, thank you. The CMA team, I've learned a lot. I know because of time we cannot interact more, but I had some like 3 areas just before I say the final prayers that I wanted you perhaps to help me look at. But as we walk out, perhaps I'll just check with you. And for the benefit of the rest of us, is an area perhaps we want to know more about it. One of it being, I had Kanyotu. Said Kanyotu is your name? Kamunyi, sorry. I don't know why I'm saying Kanyotu. Kamunyi, yeah, Kamunyi said like you invest in the right company. So the question that I had, what factors do you consider to say that this is the right company? So it's something that we need to look at. Because right now, like you of Safaricom is doing so well. So should I also put my money in Safaricom? So perhaps you'll help us some other day about that one. Then number 2, I run a small business. And when I hear that the Nairobi Stock Security Exchange has only like 60 companies, I also want one day this company to be listed on the Security Exchange. So perhaps next time also just guide me on how to ensure that this company is listed on the Security Exchange. Then the last one is an area that I've been wrestling with in my head so much. And it's good I've found the CMA people here now as the regulatory authority. There is this company that we call Uchumi Supermarket Limited, of which some of us are familiar with. Uchumi, I think, for the last like 5 or so years, has never even declared the financial reports. But they are still listed on the stock exchange. What might be happening? Why are they still there? Or even without declaring the financials, they just get listed still. So it's something that we can discuss later. So let's bow our heads for a closing prayer. Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you for the afternoon that we've had. It has been a wonderful session discussing about investments, Lord, and we bless you for our country, Kenya, Lord, as we pray that, Father, indeed, you may help us. Even as students, faculty, we've gathered here, Father, just to get more enlightenment about investment. We thank you for the capital authorities, people that you brought here, Father, to help us learn. We thank you for the knowledge that we've gained. We pray that as we go out there, you'll help us, Father, even to make use of it. I know, Father, you give us the power to make wealth. We pray that, Father, indeed, everyone that has had an opportunity to be here, Lord, will be able, Father, even to impact more other lives with the knowledge that we've gained. Even as we leave this place, we pray that you may be with us in other endeavors that